Maybe you find yourself looking back at last year, scratching your head, and thinking about what did I really do? What did I accomplish? I have all these goals and things at the beginning of the year, but you might not have a simple framework or a way of being able to review the year. So today we'll go through the simple four-step framework to be able to optimize 2024 by first looking at what we accomplished and what we were able to do over the last year. A big thing in athletics is reviewing the tape. So after every game, match, or race, you sit down with the trainer, the coach, the players, and you review the game tape. What could we have done better? What could we have done differently? What are some of the things that we did well? And how can we use each of those to be able to do even better in our next time out? So over the course of these four questions, these four activities, we're going to look at the game tape for 2023. We're going to think deeply about what are some of those things we did well, what are some of those amazing experiences that we had, and how can we use those to lay the foundation as we plan out for the next year. So for the first step of the framework, what we're going to do is review your photos. All of the photos that you took between January and December of the year. And we have this simple framework to be able to break them into two categories for every single month. So category number one, what we're going to do is for the month of January, we're going to go through and determine what our highlight of the month was. So go through and look at each and every photo. Remember all those amazing memories. Maybe you had a new child. Maybe you got a promotion at work. Maybe you went on an experience and traveled to a new country. As you look at these photos, what represents a highlight for you for that month? Now, I know some people are probably saying, hey, but Earl, I'm not a big photo. I don't have a smartphone. I still have a flip phone, or I don't really have a lot of pictures from the last year. So in that case, what you can do is, as you go about and think about that month, is find an image online that represents something that resonates with you for your personal highlight. Take that, and then you can use that and you can plug it into the template just like everyone else. So the first step, we're going to go through and we're going to determine a highlight for the month. And we're going to do this for every month between January and December. So the first step, determine a highlight for the month through your photos. Now that we have our highlights, the second step, what we're going to go through is think about a learning from the month. What was a growth opportunity, something that we learned? So this can be everything from a screenshot of a quote that really resonated with you, or perhaps you finished a course, or you finished a class, or maybe you had a flat tire and you took a picture of that and it taught you to always have a spare or to have AAA. Whatever that might be for you, come up with and have a photo that represents the learning for each month, January through December. So for step two of the framework, what we're going to do is review your calendar. So pull out your calendar from the year, whether you keep it digitally, online, on your phone, or perhaps you have a physical planner that you use. We're going to go through and look at how do we really allocate our time this year? Are the things that we put on this calendar how we actually spent the day? Did we even have a calendar or something to be able to determine that the things that we were actually doing were aligned with the goals that we set out for ourselves? So as we think about this, there's this great quote that I love from the jazz great Miles Davis, where he talks about how time isn't the main thing, time is the only thing. And when I think and reflect on that quote, for me, one of the things that comes to mind is this idea that, the 24 hours in the day that we all have is the only thing that we share. So how can we use this more effectively? So as we pull out our calendar and go through and see what are the things that we did in this year, let's reflect and write some of those notes using the template in the paragraph below to be able to help us to use our time more efficiently and more intentionally as we go into the next year. So now that we reviewed our photos, coming up with the highlight and the learning for each month, we've translated that to review in our calendars. Now we're ready for step number 3, where we will review our communication. So to do this, we're going to go through our text messages. We're going to go through our DMs. We're going to go through our emails. We're going to go through all the various ways that we've been able to communicate with people this year and review those messages to think about a few different things. 1, did I connect with the people who truly meant the most to me, to my loved ones, to those clients and people who really made an impact on our life? What is the frequency of me connecting with the people who mean the most to me? Also, we're going to look at what is it like in terms of the ways that people are reaching out. Are there relationships to where the only time that I speak to a person is if I'm reaching out to them? Or perhaps are there people who you haven't communicated with that there's something that you need to say or something that is being left unsaid? What was the tone like for the last time that you communicated with such a person? So as we go through and we look at from all of our different means of communication and review what we said, how we said it, and if it was moving us towards a better relationship, we'll think about how can we communicate more effectively as we go into the new year. And the last step of the process, what we're going to do is review our finances. So pull up your online banking, export those PDF statements, and we're going to go through and really look at what did we spend money on this year? Where did it all go, right? Whether we exceeded our financial goals or we want to do much better in this year, we're going to take the time and really look at how we spent the money that we did have. So let's pull it up. Let's go and use the spreadsheet to be able to go month by month and really think about and determine how did I spend the money that I did have? And how can we use the momentum and the thoughts around if that got me closer to my goals to be able to do even better going into the new year. Congratulations, that's it. We've gone through all 4 steps. First, we were able to review our photos for the year and go through and come up with both a highlight as well as a learning/growth opportunity. From there, we were able to review our calendar to ensure that we were using our time in a way that was aligned with our goals and our vision. From there, we were able to review our communication to ensure both in terms of the frequency as well as that we were connecting with the people who mean the most to us, before finally reviewing those finances to ensure that the financial resources are able to be properly stewarded to make this year the best one yet. So if you haven't already, the template to be able to go through and do this completely free, no opt-in required, is available in the description below. And if it is helpful, let me know in the comments or if there's anything else that we can do. See you on the next upload.